Howdy everybody in YouTube land. What we have in front of us today is a pair of 5 1/4 floppy drives. Now, I don't know the full history of these. What I do know is one of these was working and then the spindle stopped running, and then one of these is unknown. So I don't know yet, but I have to see what the capacitors look like. I have to see if there's any problems with, plastics and all that other fun stuff. So the goal is to try to get them working, but we'll see. I think the easiest way to test these is I have a grease weasel. I've never used it before. So perhaps we hook a grease weasel to this and see what we get. Looks like that LED got bent up. I don't see anything serious here. Ooh, I see a little bit of corrosion there. But other than that, let's see. Do we have any cracked gears? A little bit. Otherwise, I'm not really seeing anything. There's some funky capacitors there. Maybe early tantalums. But other than that, not really. Maybe there's some on the motor board. Oh yeah, I see a couple right there. So there's that one. This one I don't know. I don't know which one's which. It was never explained to me. But I gotta get this one apart and see, because, yeah, we don't know. Don't know. But motor was running and then it stopped, so that's all we know. Well, it looks to be the exact same drive, and this one got a little bit twacked in shipping. Those got bent, but that's not a big deal. The little lever is missing. So, this is what it is. And then if we look on the bottom side, we got the same Matsushita motor assembly. Everything's the same. And look, we have the same corrosion. So I'm going to probably have to pull this motor board and take a peek, because there might be leaking capacitors on this thing. But let's see, when was this made? Well, 3/21/88. That's what's marked on there, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. Date code's 83. So this is an old drive, 360K Wonder Muffin. Let's see, is the stepper free? Ugh. A little bit of grease will go a long way there. Let's check this one. That one slides better. That one does not. It needs greased, but not a big deal. So, alright, well, I suppose before I try to energize this thing, I need to see how hard it's going to be to remove this motor assembly, because I don't know. Oh yeah, here we go. It's a Shugart SA455-2. So I was able to get the motor out, and sure enough, look at that. Every single one of these guys, they're leaking. Down here, do we have any leaks? Yeah, we do. So 1983, guys. They're all starting to leak now, these little Panasonic caps. Well, that's unfortunate. So I'm going to have to get a cap list together and see what I have on hand. So I got all of the caps removed, and some of these are leaking, some of them are not, but I'm going to change them all. Also, I have a feeling this chip is dead based on how corroded it looks from the cap juice. So I went ahead and got a couple of these on order. I can still get them on eBay. So if the motor was running and then it quit spinning, that's probably why. So I have that on order as well. Actually, I was quite shocked that I had these bipolar 10 microfarad capacitors in hand, which is, they're a little bit bigger, but there's plenty of room. It's these guys right here. I think I've used these before. Maybe it was a TV repair or something. I don't remember, but I still have those on hand. So I went ahead and got this board recapped. I am not holding any hope that it's going to work, because I have a feeling that this chip is bad, but we're going to try it. And also, I'm going to replace these two tantalums with just traditional electrolytics on this board because these things like to short and go boom too. So these two are going bye-bye as well. And I think there's even another one in here. There's one over here. Also a 4.7. So we've got 1, 2, 3 of them. I don't see any more, and they're easy to miss just by the package types that they're in. So gotta watch out for that. So the next thing we need to deal with is this thing. And the problem is the plastic shrinks. So the metal can't shrink with it. So it's the same thing on both of these. We have, I gotta get this into a focusable area. Yeah, it's not good. So we gotta make that, and we gotta make that. And I'm gonna have to figure out how to do it because there are no models, and I'm not good with CAD. Alright, well this is a rather dumb design. So the shaft has a groove cut in it, like that. And this plastic piece has a little groove molded in there. So the only way that's even possible is if this plastic nylon stuff was molded, injection molded, with the shaft in the mold. So this shaft had to have been in the mold. Yeah, it's the only way it's possible. So this was molded around that. So how do you fix this? Well, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is perhaps model this in a 3D printer, and then perhaps some little micro screws, like you make two halves, and then you screw the two halves together so it clamps around the shaft. It's the only way I know to fix something like this, because you're not going to press it on, not with this groove. It was molded on. So we can probably model this for the 3D printer, and then just like press it, put it on the shaft like that, and then screw the two halves together. It's the only way I know to fix that problem. Now, the other thing we can do is take the path of least resistance here and try to epoxy the crap out of this thing, which is what I may end up doing. And the problem is this metal shaft is very smooth, so epoxy is not going to want to stick to this. So what we're going to need to do is grind this thing a bit, rough up the surface. That way, the JB Weld or whatever epoxy we use will actually have something to bite to. And then we'll just do the same thing here, because again, this is a smooth surface, so we need to grind this down a bit and make sure it sticks. The other way to potentially fix this is to grab a small drill bit and run a hole all the way through, as well as drilling a hole in the shaft here so we can run a screw through there and put a nut on the other end of it. But the problem is you'd have to use a countersink screw, because remember, it's got to ride in this groove. So there's a few ways to fix this, but it's a shit sandwich either way we look at it. Well, unfortunately, this jumper broke right off, probably because it was so bent from shipping. So crap, that means I'm gonna have to grab some of my header pins here and replace that. Oh, back apart it comes. Alright, jumper's installed, grease weasel's hooked up. Let's see what happens. I use this little UI program, so I'm gonna hit this read button and see if the light comes on or whatnot. Oh hey, we have a spinning motor. Of course, I have track 0 not found because I do not have the diskette in there. So let me go get a DOS disk and see if it will read it, because I don't know. We're going to find out. Alright, so here we go. I have this disk. I don't have disk 1, so this is useless anyways. But for testing, we're going to try it. So we're going to overwrite my error. Oh, there it goes. So this thing is working. Nice. So we have one of 2 functioning drives. So I'm going to go ahead and let this guy read out. So I didn't have to replace that chip Ooh, got lucky there. Now the other drive, I don't know. We're going to find out. But she is running, and obviously it's spinning at the right RPM, or we wouldn't be able to read this. It would be throwing errors. Well, looks like we've got a bad sector. Yeah, that's right. Alright, so we got the disk. We just have a couple of bad sectors, but that's fine. Now, if I did a flux dump, I could probably do that, but I'm not reading it as a flux. I'm reading it as an actual formatted IBM diskette. But hey, you know what? It's working. So this drive is fully operational. So I can go ahead and move on to the other drive. Well, once the epoxy cures for this finger. Just for the ha-has, I was able to read a Commodore disk. Not well, but it worked. Still waiting for the epoxy to cure, and it may not, because it is taking a very long time to cure. And it shouldn't. Anyway, so moving right along, while that's curing, I'm going to move to the next one. The plastic is in far better shape on this one. And it's just in better shape overall. So this one might become the one that I put all the pieces and stuff onto. But I don't know. We'll see. Anywho, I'm going to do the same thing to this one. We're going to pull it apart. We're going to check everything out and see how bad the caps are on this one. Yeah, this drive is in much better shape. The bearing, much more smooth, less noisy. And even this is a lot more smooth, cleaner. Yeah, we have leaky caps, the same exact leaky caps that we had on the other one, but this one's in better shape. So I think what I'm going to do, we're going to get this one running. I can't believe it. I've already ordered the chips for those. This one's in better shape. But hey, at least I'll have spares in case I need them, if this one is still good. So we're just going to go ahead and change the caps on that. And then if this drive works, then I'm just going to take that faceplate and move it onto this drive, because this one was missing. And of course, I didn't show it on camera, but on the other drive, I lubricated the rail and worked it back and forth. So we're good there. And I changed all three of those caps as well on the other one. So now let's get that turned on, and get this going. Let's get this party started. All right. Just like before, we have fresh caps installed. I ran out of electrolytics, so I ended up shoving a tantalum in there, so hopefully that one works. Get this board back in place, and then we will change those three out. But for the record, there's all the caps that we need for this particular drive. Alright, all the caps replaced. Let's see if this thing spins. Don't know, but we're going to find out. Yep, we're good. So I don't need those chips. Ah, well, I'll have spares. All right, since I don't have the handle, we're going to do this. Okay. All right, we're going to do a read. Yep, there we go. We are 100% working. I actually need to re-lube this rail. I forgot to do it, but it's working. See if we get the same bad sector errors. Probably, because I think that disk is no good. Which is fine. It's great for testing. A lot of tracks. Huh? It read it this time with no errors, unlike the other one. So that means the heads are probably a little bit worn on the other one, but I'm not surprised. Anywho, yeah, this one works good. This one works amazingly well, which I suspected it would, considering it was in better shape. So, as far as I understand, the original owner told me that these are the drives for the Mindset computer that I just worked on recently. that I uploaded a video on. So these are the drives for the Mindset. One of them is the original and the other one is a replacement. So they're both good now. I think this is the original drive because it has a custom faceplate and the other one was a replacement. So, all right, so let's lubricate this thing up and then finalize this thing out. I adjusted the RPM and I got a little bit of a better read. It was set at 298, now it was 300. So the RPM is right, but I'm looking at the disc and I've noticed, if you look very carefully, you see that little line in the disc there? Let me zoom in, if it'll let me do it. That is a scratch. So that tells me that on this drive, the reason why it won't read is the heads are just a little bit worn. But the head itself, it'll still work. The other drive works. So I think that's gonna be about it. I'm just waiting for the epoxy to cure to see if that holds up. I don't know if it will, but we're gonna find out. That's gonna be it for this one. Now, I don't know what it is. It still hasn't been 24 hours yet, but for some reason this epoxy just isn't. It's very rubbery. I don't know. It might be a bad batch, but we'll see. I'm not going to turn this one. I'm just going to leave it alone. We'll see how that acts. But anywho, this one's good to go. This one's in better shape than this one, but they both work. So I'm going to wrap this up right here. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Please feel free to leave a comment if you have one. We now have 2 functional drives for the Mindset computer. Until next time, guys, thank you for watching.